there are reports of 100 bodies lying in the streets of Tacloban. We did indeed see terrible images yesterday of the whole city engulfed by water. Another local television reporter there has said he's seen around 30 bodies at a church in the city. So it does seem that the number of casualties is going to rise, but I think it's going to be difficult to get the full extent of the damage and the loss of life, because it's very difficult to get there. At the moment, the airport has been very, very badly damaged, and only military flights are going in and out. Aid agencies are struggling to get there.
Yes, well, that was going to be my next question. They're called first responders nowadays, aren't they? How difficult are they finding it? How many more areas do they have to get to, or is it practically everywhere?
It's not everywhere, but those central islands in the east, Leyte has a population, I think, of around about 2 million on the entire island. And I've spoken to the Red Cross and the UN humanitarian operation here this morning, and they both said they're struggling to get there. They're trying to get in on military planes. I'm not sure how those planes are able to land if the airport is so badly damaged, and people are trying to rent choppers to get down there. But the winds are still pretty high, and it's not terribly safe to fly, so it's going to be difficult. And as I say, it could be days, I think, before we know the extent of the damage. And even if the loss of life is relatively low compared to previous typhoons so far, you have to bear in mind that hundreds of thousands of people, it seems, might have lost their homes altogether and are now going to be seeking temporary shelter.
And what about the hundreds of thousands of people in those temporary shelters? Is there any news from there? Were they well stocked up before the storm arrived with clean water and food and all the necessary that they'll need?
Well, look, certainly the government here has been praising the evacuation effort and saying, look, one of the reasons the casualties have been relatively low is that they managed to get people out. In terms of the conditions, they don't look great, to be honest. People are packed into sort of sports halls and large rooms lined out on the floor, and one might imagine that those conditions are only going to get worse, and if people struggle to shift aid around.